If you could choose one image that would go over your mantle at home,
Huh.
what image would that be?
Well, I have a picture on my mantle right now. It's a picture of a harp seal pup over under the ice. It's a picture that I haven't grown tired of looking at. I made it probably a decade ago or a little bit more than that. And I love looking at it. It's got an innocence, but sort of a moody, mysterious feel as well. And another picture is a picture that I'm probably well known for. It's a picture of a diver standing next to a southern right whale on the bottom of the ocean. And I just love that juxtaposition of human and whale, 45-foot, 70-ton whale choosing to interact with a human being. Those are a couple that are some of my favorites, and I could easily rotate over the fireplace mantle on a regular basis.
I would love to hear about when you got your first camera. So just take me back. I assume this is a while back. Take me back to what was that like when you picked up a camera? Describe that for us.
From a very early age, I was very much inspired by the ocean. I used to watch Jeac Cousteau documentaries. I read National Geographic Magazine, and I knew that I wanted to explore the ocean. So when I was about 15 years old, I started scuba diving. I took a scuba certification class and began diving around my native waters in New England, in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, places like that. It was about a year later, I attended a diving conference called the Boston Sea Rovers Show. And I sat in that audience as a teenager and saw other underwater photographers and filmmakers presenting their work and sort of had an epiphany. I realized that this was the perfect career for me. I would be an explorer of the ocean, but do it with a camera.
You see some wild things in the ocean that people wouldn't even believe, which I know is a pretty cool thing to have a camera to be able to share those kind of stories and the things you see out there.
It absolutely is. I sometimes think of my career, my life as just one long string of extraordinary encounters after another. I'll do a story on whales and I get to swim with these giant whales in all kinds of remote locations. And then I'm with squid in another place, or seals or sharks or whatever. I'm diving under, polar ice or in tropical remote coral reefs. So I've been very lucky, very blessed to be able to do these things. And you do become addicted to having extraordinary encounters. There's no doubt about it.
You had this excitement and this exploration, and what keeps you going? Because it's not a simple life you're leading right now. It's really not.
No, it's a great question, Paul. And I think, there are multiple motivators, I would say, that sort of keep me going and keep that spark ignited. As a nature photographer, I love being out in nature, so it's a great thrill for me to know that I'm going to go on a trip to Patagonia and spend 3 weeks photographing sharks or whales or seals, or going to Japan and doing the same thing over there. So there's always this great desire to see new places, to be in nature, and to have the privilege to make pictures of what you're seeing. But beyond that, I do think there's a maybe even more noble cause, or a more altruistic cause, and that is with my work, I do believe that I can make a difference. When I first began, I just wanted to make beautiful pictures of the animals or places that interested me. But over time, I've seen a lot of problems occurring in nature, in our world's oceans specifically, and I felt a sense of responsibility and a sense of urgency to begin turning my cameras towards those things to tell a more complete story. So I do feel it's important to have those sort of conservation threads throughout much of my work, sometimes very, very obviously, other times more subtly. But I do believe that a combination of celebratory images and more harder hitting pictures can move that dial. And that's a big part of what we try to do at National Geographic. It's a big part of what I try to do with my own personal work. What's been really inspirational for me is to hear from folks that I talked to, in the past, who will write me a note and say that they've pursued a career in photography or marine conservation or whatever because of a conversation that we had 3 or 4 years ago. So, awesome. Yeah, I think I feel a great responsibility to give back. I've been very lucky to do what I do, and it's not about me. It's about sharing that and giving back and helping anyone else that I can, because I think this is a pretty cool pursuit.
Well, your images are awesome, but you're also an incredibly kind person, and I do appreciate you taking some time to give back and share the joy that has possessed your life.
It's absolutely my pleasure, Paul, and right back at you. You're reaching new audiences and doing beautiful things, so keep it up.
You bet. All right, Brian, have a great day. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. You too.